Coach, your group talks a lot about its ability to use its defense to fuel the offense. Just talk about how the defense set the tone tonight and was able to generate some offense for you guys.
I mean, holding them to 94 points, turning them over 13 times for 26 points, getting those extra possessions, I thought was big. I think our guys did a great job of staying the course regardless of what was happening throughout the game, trying to keep our composure as best as possible.
Jalen Suggs has shown toughness throughout this entire season, but what more can you say about his toughness tonight, diving for the ball and in his first game back?
I mean, he was incredible. I think our guys really just took on the challenge. They understand what Donovan had done last game and knowing what he's capable of doing. So that was the point of emphasis tonight, making sure that we made it tough on them. Each shot that they took being contested. Now, obviously, we'll have to clean up the offensive rebound scenario, so finding bodies, hitting guys, and finishing the possessions out. But our guys, they stayed the course throughout the night, and that's the biggest part of growth for this team.
That's 9 straight wins at home for you guys. How do you guys keep this momentum going to back-to-back games in Boston?
I think you continue to preach exactly what you know travels, which is defense, and that's who we are. And that's what we'll continue to be about. Our guys know exactly what they're asked to do, how physical we need to play, defend a little bit better without fouling, but just doing it by committee on a nightly basis, one game at a time.
Coach, congrats on the win. At halftime, down 54-51, you guys come out in the third quarter, hold them to 15 points. Can you talk about the effort in the third quarters, especially defensively, and then putting up 30 points as well on the offensive end? That was the most for any quarter for you guys. So just can you talk a little bit about what you saw coming out of halftime?
A will and a want that we had to impose on this game and what we needed to do. And these guys took on the challenge at halftime by our coaches and with each other. Knowing that it had to be a defensive game, because if we wanted to get out and run, you have to get stops first. And part of that is finishing the possessions to get out and go, and that's what you saw in that third quarter.
You've talked about it a little bit here with that will and that want. Where do you feel like it comes from with this team? Because usually with especially young teams, they let offense kind of affect their defensive effort or let things kind of slip. But it seemed like that just hardened them a little bit to stick to the defense tonight.
It's by committee. And these guys, they willed themselves to it, and they realized, you can sit down and guard no matter what is happening in the game. And I think they challenged each other. They wanted to. They got after it. They got the big stops when they needed to, and that's what this group is about. They're pulling for each other, tied together, and they're tough, and they all want to sit down and guard, which is the great part about this group.
Coach, can you talk about the growth and maturity of the team towards the end of the game? You guys have been in these positions a lot this season, but to really close it out, especially defensively, we sound like a broken record, constantly praising the defense. Mm-hmm. Suggs gets the big block, Harris gets the big block, and then Franz really helps close it out for the end of the game.
I think that's who this group has been. We've worked on it a ton in practice. You do 2-minute drills, and so when you come to the huddle, this is what you say to them. You say, listen, we've been in this situation before. We've walked through it in practice. This is going to be one of those games that we're going to have to gut it out because it's not pretty, and that's what we have to experience. You have to experience not pretty wins, in this league to learn, to grow, to understand that that's a playoff team right there. And so understanding how physical it's going to be, how aggressive they're going to be. And so I think that's what we have to continue to learn and grow through.
Coach Paolo went down in the second half of the game, was taken to the locker room. Thank goodness he came out and really finished strong. Mm-hmm. What happened to him when he was out?
Ankle. I think he turned it on the Darius when he drove baseline. Darius went for the layup. I think he might have stepped on the back of his foot. Thankfully, he went back, got some great treatment, and came right back out. So I thought that was good. He and Joe just showing levels and signs of their resilience, their will, and their want to continue to push through to be there for their teammates.
Coach, you talked about a little bit, with Joe and his resilience tonight. Big player coming off, the bench for the second quarter. Can you talk a little bit more about his impact for the game?
He does so many things for that second unit. There's a poise, there's a pace to the game that he changes it up. His decision-making, getting guys in the right spot. He's out there coaching, on the fly with these guys. And I think what he does is he brings that calm to that group so they can run our sets, defend the right way, but there's a high level of communication within that group that he brings to the table.
Asked about Paolo maybe seeing some different defense tonight. Now how you adjust to that. Cleveland definitely threw some different looks at him tonight than they did last week. what does it say about him not only being able to adjust and find a way even through some of the struggles in the first half, but to do that while also coming back from the injury and finding a way to help the team win?
It says a lot about him. This young man he's a tough kid, and we've said it time and time again. He's a winner. He's going to find ways to will his team and this group that they believe in what he's capable of doing. And to say that he wasn't getting to his spots would probably is not right, because he was getting to the rim. The fact that we still had 56 points in the paint and we were attacking downhill. Now, whether you get the whistle or don't, it doesn't matter. Like, we're going to continue to attack and get downhill the way we need to.
Thank you, Coach Mosley.
Thank you, guys.
Jalen, you guys talk often about having your defense fuel your offense. How much do you feel that played a role tonight, and how you guys were able to execute on that?
I think it speaks volumes. We talked pregame, about making Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell work for everything, and for them to struggle. And I think we did exactly that. Darius Garland had a great night, 11 of 23. Donovan 6 of 18. But they were all tough. They were working for those buckets, and we held them to 94 points. To hold that team with those two, the pick and roll lob threats that they have, and the snipers all around is not easy. And it's a credit to everyone. From Golga, A, B, P, Franz, anyone who came in the game stepped up and played defense, and it just speaks volumes, of our team.
How are you feeling right now physically? And then, did you feel like you were limited at all with the right ankle strain, or
sensational? Sensational. I'm good.
Just more on your toughness. I mean, you've taken a lot of hits this season, as we've seen. Just what more can you say about yourself in terms of the ability to play through that and put your body on the line?
I don't know. I think it's just kind of the way I've played basketball all my life, and it's the way I was taught. It's the way I was raised. Playing outside, playing against older dudes, you know what I'm saying, and having to be tough. If you weren't tough, you weren't stepping on the court, speaks, a lot of credit to, my mom, pops, family, for what they've instilled in me, and the rest of the group. It's hard to do those things and sacrifice for people you don't care for, and I care for these guys with all my heart. So, I think that's where a lot of that comes from.
You held the Cavs to a season-low 94 points. What is it that makes your team's defense so good?
I think we have fun playing defense. I think we sometimes lose sight of that, and it's human nature. I know it's part of being in this league, but we have fun playing defense. We enjoy, getting turned up and being energized off defensive plays, and all the way down the line. Everyone does it, and everyone's buying into it, and we all have that collective mindset. It's tough to score. We got a lot of versatility, a lot of passion, and a lot of will, plus with the job that the coaches do, and did during training camp to really work on our defense and hone in on that, and really make that a priority. I think they deserve a lot of credit as well.
Jalen, great game tonight, all around, offense, defense. Thought you really brought it tonight, especially on Donovan Mitchell, the defensive effort, holding him 6-18 shooting. Wanted to ask you a question about Jarrett Allen and specifically just getting downhill.
Oh, what's up, dog? What's up, killer?
So Jarrett Allen has only 5+ fouls in 2 games this season. Both are against the Orlando Magic. You fouled him out tonight, so he played 20 or less minutes in those 2 games. Is that part of the game plan, especially tonight with Mobley out, getting him off the floor in foul trouble, and then getting the paint open against Dean Wade, George Niang, guys like that?
I was just excited to hear that song, the Hit the Road Jack. I love that song. I ain't gonna lie. I sang that the whole way while he was walking to the bench. But I think that's the emphasis for us every night, is to dominate the paint. We talked about it, early in the season, and with the job that Franz, P, Golga, CA, J.I., everybody, just did a great job in getting to the paint, causing a problem. And I thought, these two, P and Franz, did a great job of being patient down there and getting him off his feet to draw fouls. So, I think, regardless of Cleveland or not, that's the emphasis every night, is to play in the paint, be aggressive, and, that's a product of it.
Jalen and Paolo, both you guys, Coach just talked a little bit about how these wins can be ugly, but the ugly wins are the ones that help you guys grow and move forward. So for both of you guys, how important was this win tonight, especially heading into Boston, but also knowing just all you guys, what you went through in that first Cleveland game?
it's just another game to continue practicing and doing what we preach, and holding ourselves to our standard. I don't think the opponent matters. I think that's a mindset we're trying to carry. But we knew we owed them. We didn't give them our best effort in Cleveland. We wanted to, really not only show and make a statement, to them, but also to everybody. That we're talented, and we don't want to be the doormat anymore. And the team that people talk about is, it's just the Orlando Magic, another game. You know what I'm saying? We want to be that tough team, and you got to scout and bring full mental energy and physicality when you come play us.
I think to his point, it's just a mentality throughout the team, and I think Coach came to the huddle in the first half and just was like, it's going to be one of them games. It's going to be a game where, you're not getting the benefit of the doubt from the refs. Shots may not go in, whatever it is, so you're going to have to grind it out. You got to trust each other, and you got to defend and get stops. And so I think at the end of the day, that's what it came down to, was trusting each other and then staying locked in on the defensive side. And I just think that's what won the game for us.
Jalen, you talked about the team defensively buying into the mindset of everyone collectively going in together as a unit, but can you just talk about the presence that Goga has, knowing that if you guys get beat on the perimeter, having his paint presence back there and just the impact that he makes?
Oh, dog. Goga's a dog. It's great having someone back there that, you completely trust, to put pressure on the ball. It gives you that belief to really climb into ball handlers, knowing that you have that, second line of protection at the rim, between him, J.I., even Mogitz has done a great job at the rim this year, and so, yeah, I think it's great having Goga back there, and he deserves a lot of credit, you know what I'm saying? You don't always, get the shots, get looks, but, he plays his heart out every game. I think he deserves a ton of credit for that. Super unselfish, a great person, and, wants to win. And, when you all share that mentality, it usually leads to good things.
Paolo, first, how are you feeling? How's your ankle feeling after that nasty turn? And what did it mean, or what does it say about you and the desire from this team that you felt like you had to come back and came back and made a big impact down the stretch?
Yeah. I think it just shocked me at first. Obviously, you hate stepping on guys' foots and turning your ankle, so it shocked me, put me on the ground. But I was able to put weight on it, and then when I got back to the back, I felt good enough, and then just retaped it, went on the court real quick, tested it out, and felt like I could come back. Had the game watching on the TV, so was yelling at the TV and just wanted to get back out there. So yeah, it really wasn't a hard decision. I know I might have been a little dramatic, but I really was shocked, at first. So, but I feel fine. I'll be good for Friday for sure.
Anything else? All right, thank you, everyone. Appreciate y'all.